Creating alternative routes and building good road networks are viable means of ensuring easy flow of traffic and delivery of goods and services in record time. Having promised this during his electioneering campaign, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reiterated his commitment towards completing site investigative studies on the 4th Mainland Bridge project in order to bring it to fruition. Welcome to the Governor this week. I am Lekan Onabanjo. As part of his commitment to the actualization of the 4th Mainland Bridge, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu unveiled the logo for the project, assuring that upon completion, it will reduce travel time and improve connectivity and accessibility between the mainland and the island. The governor, represented by his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, gave this assurance at the first stakeholders meeting on environment and social impact assessment for the Lagos 4th Mainland Bridge.
Today is very significant in our joint effort to change the narrative of the socio-economic development of our state through the provision of critical infrastructure for sustainable development and prosperity. It therefore gives me great pleasure to welcome you all and address you as we jointly evaluate the environmental and social impact of the proposed 4th Mainland Bridge. You will all recall that during the electioneering campaign, we deliberately included the 4th Mainland Bridge as a key deliverable in our manifesto. As an administration, we then decided to focus on the project and develop a methodology to deliver the strategic piece of highway infrastructure. From inception, we have left no one in doubt about our commitment to ensure that this project becomes a reality. The history of 4th Mainland Bridge goes back almost 16-17 years, when it was first raised due to the ever-decreasing efficiency of the existing 3rd Mainland Bridge in addressing the transportation need of a growing population of Lagos. The 3rd Mainland Bridge was the first real piece of strategic infrastructure deployed in Lagos metropolis, and the proponent and developer of that project should be commended for their vision. Today, Lagos without 3rd Mainland Bridge would simply be unimaginable. The project succeeded in giving Lagos a new lifeline through its connectivity between the mainland and the island. And we're all seeing the importance of 3rd Mainland now that it's sort of partially closed for maintenance. All of us are now going through the Yaba and the rest. So we all know the importance of this infrastructure. In October 2019, the process for the construction of the 4th Mainland Bridge was reactivated with the development of a 6-step process that will lead to the selection of a suitable concessionaire in line with global best practice. We reckon that this bridge will cost about $2.2 billion US. So it's a lot of money, and therefore the process must be very solid, transparent, and well spelled out. To underscore the importance of sustaining the existing synergy amongst the various agencies of government and the organized private sector, we appointed a dedicated advisory team comprising of KPMG Nigeria, managing the financial component of it, Olanihun Ajayi, managing the legal part of it, AEC, that is Advanced Engineering, and Render, managing the technical part of it. The team was given the task to collectively advise the government on the step-by-step process toward selecting a consortium to deliver the project. The 6-step process then began on the 27th of November 2019, with the publication of an advertisement seeking expressions of interest from interested consortium or contractors. Out of the 50 respondents, 32 were further shortlisted, thus concluding step 1 of the process. On 10th of February 2020, step 2 of the process commenced with the issuance of requests for qualification, document to 32 shortlisted applicants. The RFQ process yielded another 15 respondents, out of which 10 progressed to the full assessment. At the end of the assessment, 6 consortia were selected to proceed to the next phase of the process. The consortia recommended and selected were Motor Engine CCC Consortium, Power China, International Group Limited / Power Construction Corporation of China, China State Construction Engineering Corporation of Nigeria, CGGC/CGC Consortium, CCECC/CCRICG Consortium, ICTAS/INSAT Consortium. So Portuguese, Chinese, Spanish, all over the place. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this stakeholders meeting and engagement and consultation on environmental and social impact assessment holding today is a precursor to the first step, to the third step, which will involve issuing the request for proposal to the 6 consortia who will be required to present their respective financial proposal and methodologies for carrying out this gigantic project. It will be concluded with the selection of a preferred bidder and 2 reserve bidders. So a preferred bidder and 2 reserve bidders. That is in the case that the preferred bidder cannot close financially, then the 2 reserve bidder can then be activated. Step 4 of the process will see the preferred bidder and the 2 reserve bidders being asked to provide a tender for the construction cost for the project. On completion of that process, the most attractive overall package presented by the 3 bidders will proceed to step 5, which is the negotiating phase and issuing of a draft concession agreement, as well as financial closure. Then the process will move to step 6, which is awarding the concession, which will signal the commencement of construction work. There is need to review and evaluate the gains that we have made so far, assess the bottlenecks that we have encountered, and recommend the necessary steps toward achieving our desired objective, that is the delivery of 4th Mainland Bridge. It is instructive to note that the commencement of the project will be another undeniable implementation and delivery of a flagship project for this administration. We must therefore use this stakeholders meeting to consult amongst ourselves as we take steps to remove all the bottlenecks that will impede the delivery of the 4th Mainland Bridge. All the components of Lagos mobility must be considered: road planning, public transport integration, and urban freight, strengthening the current radial commuting connection between Lagos, urban core, and the establishments of transversal connections that will serve both long-distance traffic, that will avoid metropolitan traffic, and also other connections within our mega city of Lagos. Let me assure you that the proposed 4th Mainland Bridge has been well integrated into the overall master plan of Lagos in relation to transportation infrastructure. Because as I think the MD of Sustainable Concept said, we have managed the design in such a way that it will be less destructive. This stakeholder meeting is organized to open the project to further inputs, comments, ideas, and observations for incorporation into the ongoing social and environmental impact assessment. It is our belief that this meeting will boost the acceptability and implementation rate of this bridge in line with global best practices. As a government, we want to assure everybody that your comments and advice will be given due consideration, as they will be beneficial and assist in the finalization of the ongoing procurement process of this bridge. I want to thank everybody for listening and wish all of us a very fantastic celebration.
About 22,000 families and 5,500 micro, small and medium-scale enterprises in Lagos are to benefit from the United Nations One Basket Fund. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while revealing this at the launch of the Intervention Fund, said the Cash for Work and Transfer program will give more support to individuals and businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's a really great pleasure to join all of you this afternoon. From His Excellency the Ambassador himself, Mr. Carlson, to the UN resident representative, Mr. Yaya, to my sister, the SSA, to Mr. President, and to all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that have come to grace this very simple but very auspicious occasion today. I'm indeed very excited and appreciative of everyone connected to the Cash for Work and the cash transfer program being launched here today to support the vulnerable, the very less privileged amongst us and in all our communities, and of course the MSMEs that are most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. I wish to use this opportunity to once again express our profound appreciation to the federal government, Mr. President himself, for continuing to support our government and for leading from the front. Several spirited individuals, corporate organizations that have supported us in one way or the other with both financial and material donation to ameliorate the pains that the COVID-19 has inflicted on our people. There's no gainsaying that COVID-19 has impacted negatively on our social economic well-being as a people, especially the vulnerable segments of our population. And as a responsible and responsive government, we have implemented and will continue to implement palliative measures aimed at sustaining lives and livelihood. Some of these measures include the grant that Lagos State Employment Trust Fund has started giving MSMEs. You know, started. We said at that time that we're going to be suspending all the soft loans that the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund had given about 50,000 MSMEs, right from I think it was from March that we suspended the loans. We didn't even know that the pandemic was still going to stretch till September now. You know, so we had suspended all of that, and all of them, you know, are still enjoying that suspension until now. But more importantly, as a government, we have been able to intervene and touch about 800,000 families by our own direct palliatives in the last 2 to 3 months. And just last week, again, we launched a 5 billion intervention fund between ourselves, which we call the Edu Fund, between ourselves and First Bank. And that fund was meant to target private schools, but the vulnerable private schools that we have, because we have over 18,000 private schools, and about 12,000 of them are low-cost private schools. So we realized that they were very vulnerable, and it was becoming difficult for them to restart their businesses. So we set aside, you know, a 5 billion, you know, naira, sort of like a soft grant and loan, so that they can get back to business very, very quickly. And that was set up last week. And even as we speak, using the coalition that COVID has also given us, we're given direct palliatives again to about 110,000 families. That process also has just started. As we speak, the palliatives are going around to the needy houses, you know, in our state. And just last week again, the state government also launched an intervention, but it's an economic intervention, by launching 377 road and construction projects in all of our 377 wards in the state. That, in our view, is a direct intervention that will hit all of our small construction companies, all of our small sellers of granite and iron rods, and people that are in that space, so that we can continue to reflate that part of our economy very, very, very quickly. So these were all some of our own direct, immediate intervention that we've had. And so it's clear to us and for our government that the extent of the disruption of COVID-19 has instigated the dwelling resources of our people. And of course, the resources of government has also been impacted. In the course of the year, we've had to reduce our budget by about 22%. We've had to cut on our capital expenditure. We've had to reduce some of the things that we would have wanted to do. But even given all of that, we've had to increase our expenditure in health. We've had to increase our budget with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, because we realized that we needed to do reallocation of resources and push it into areas where the impact can be felt by the greatest number of our citizens, be it in health, be it in education, and be it in palliative or some interventions that can touch the larger percentage of our people. And so you can imagine why I'm so excited today, given what we're launching here today again. Because this intervention, from the statistics given to me, will touch about 20,000 individuals and will have about almost 3,500 MSMEs. So we cannot continue to just talk about it, but we'll begin to see the impact and we'll begin to see our citizens that are being taken, out of poverty and being given the opportunity for them to start their life and start it almost immediately again. And so on behalf of the government and the people of Lagos State, I want to thank and commend the EU. I want to thank and commend the UNDP program in Nigeria for establishing this One Basket COVID-19 fund. Of course, in partnership and in support from the Office of the SGD, in partnership with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, in partnership with the Canadian and the Norwegian government, from what we've told, in partnership with the Dangote Foundation and AP Muller. I think all of them deserve a round of applause for putting all of these things, together. For me, it's about what are the lessons. What are the things that we're taking out of all of this? It's not just to give palliative. It's not just to take people out. It's really, like what the ambassador said, it's really a learning point for all of us to be able to study and have a robust, not only register, but able to look at policies that we will bring out that will engender and ensure that these interventions just don't go to waste. It becomes a real catalyst for people to have a sustainable and an enduring means of sustainable life. That, for me, will be the major sustainability of it. And that, for me, is what the SGD goals, it's all about. Start it, kick it, but bring about an opportunity for them to make it sustainable and become reality, for them. And so that's why I cannot but thank all of you that are in this room, and let us push the conversation. Let us tell others that indeed great things are happening, not only in Lagos State, but in the country as a whole. It might take a while before it gets to everybody, but there's been concerted effort. There's been thought process to this thing, because indeed we know that this is the greatest time that we can bring in real, interventions for our citizens. And so I want to thank all of you for bringing this initiative together. I want to thank you for believing in us in Lagos. Yes, we know that we're the epicenter. We're the ones that have been hit the most. But we know that we cannot do it by ourselves. And so we've opened up our arms, and we're indeed happy that we'll continue to receive this level of support and cooperation from each and every one of you. We can assure you that what you have challenged us with is to ensure that we will also even take it further and take it bigger and better for our citizens and for the community that will continue to serve.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu held a simple but memorable commemorative event for selected school children as Nigeria celebrated her 60th independence anniversary. Sanwo-Olu was joined by his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, hosted 60 primary school pupils drawn from various localities across Lagos for a no-holds-barred session.
Nigeria has gone through a lot of ups and downs. What did I say? Nigeria has gone through ups and downs. It has gone through so many problems. It has gone through so many challenges, but we're still remaining today as one big nation.
A round of applause for Nigeria.
I think we deserve to give Nigeria a round of applause. And by the way, you know that Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the entire world. Did you hear me? Nigeria, your country, is the biggest black nation in the entire world. And the world has over 200 countries. So you can imagine if Nigeria is the biggest black nation. So we're a very big country. We're a very, very powerful country. And we have so many tribes. Some of us are Yorubas, some of us are Hausas, some of us are Igbos, some of us are Ibibios. We have over 200 tribes in Nigeria. So it's a big country. And I don't want to talk about which government, because there's so many governments. The military had ruled us before. Then the political party came, they went again, the military came back again. We've gone through so many tribulations as a country. You remember that we've gone through a civil war before. They've told you Nigeria had a civil war between 1967 and 1970. But that's behind us now. Because after the war, we have rebuilt our nation back. Am I speaking too fast? You can understand me, okay? But now you know that we have political parties now that are running the nation, right? We have the president, who is the leader of the nation, President Muhammad Buhari in Abuja. You know him? Good. And he's leading a political party. But it's not only one party that is running, they have other parties. So we're all living together as a big nation. So what is happening with our governance is we have a government that we call the presidential system, which is we'll have a president, we'll have governors in the state. How many states did we say we have? 36. Yeah, Lagos is one of them. And by the way, Lagos is the smallest state in the country. Are you with me? Lagos is still the smallest in terms of the area, the land mass that we occupy. But we have the largest population in the country. So we have a challenge in Lagos. Okay? But what I want to leave with you, and that's why I've invited all of you. All of you look at me. All of you just look at me for 1 minute. What I want to leave with you is this. You are the leaders of tomorrow. What did I say?
We are the leaders of tomorrow.
So you repeat it by yourself. When I say you said we are the leaders of tomorrow. 1, 2, go.
We are the leader of tomorrow.
Good. Because, why do I say you are the leaders of tomorrow? I'm not sure that I'll be around for another 60 years again. Look at me. I'm not sure that I'm going to be around for another 60 years. But I can tell you, by the grace of God, all of you here will still be alive another 60 years. How old are you now? So you'll be 70. You're still alive. How old are you now? 9. You'll be 69. You are still alive. How old are you now? You'll be 71. So you'll still be alive. So you need to say to yourself, by the time Nigeria is 120 years, I will still be alive. You will still be alive, right? So I want you to see yourself as the future leaders of Nigeria. Do you understand? I want you to see yourself as the leaders of the country tomorrow. Because 60 years ago, they were the little children. They were holding the flag. Now, the same way you are the ones that are holding the flag. And by that time, you will become governors, you will become senators, you will become engineers, you will become doctors, you will become musicians, you will become big footballers, you will become artists, you will become whatever you want to be. What would you want to be?
A footballer.
You see, I got it. I knew he looked like a Ronaldo, or he looked like who is your best?
Messi.
Ah, jeez. He likes the Messi. So you see, what would you want to become?
An artist.
An artist. See, everybody has a plan. So the only way you can make that plan work, hello? The only way you can make that plan work is you need to believe in your country. You need to believe in Nigeria. You need to see that this flag is what brings all of us together as a nation. Because 60 years ago, they handed over this flag, and we're still holding on this flag. We're still making this flag unity and faith and progress. We're believing that with this flag, everybody can become what they want to be. You can become a doctor, you can become an artist, you can become a footballer, you can become a surgeon, you can become a whatever. But you'll be a leader in your chosen profession. Do we believe in Nigeria, our country?
Yes.
Good. Can we get our flags up? In Nigeria, we believe. All your flags up. Can we wave our hands and say we believe in Nigeria of our dreams?
The real essence of governance is bringing developmental initiatives and growth to the people. The Lagos State Governor has assured that his administration will continue to sustain its efforts and tune up conversations along the theme's agenda to fast-track the process of building a better society for Lagos residents. And that's it on the Governor this week. But then you can continue with conversations of the Governor's activities on all these social media platforms showing on your screen. That's the size of our package. Until next time, I am Lekan Onabanjo.